Right, I'm going to do a quick assemble of my RUIXIN Pro knife sharpener. I bolted down there. So let me see, I think. Let's get my go on here. Seems to be quite a number of different ways people put these together, so instructions are not that clear, to be honest. I think that plate slides up to there. This one doesn't go that way. You've got these kind of little T-blocks which sit in the groove. And I think you're meant to use the actual hex bolt itself, which gives you a little bit more space. It comes with this handy little Allen key for those users, I guess, that aren't all tooled up. It just is all very fiddly, really fiddly. Right, I think, which way does this go? Yes, okay, that slides on there. This piece put the bolt through first. It comes with this very little nylock nut. I'll just hold that with my thumb while I do that up. I don't think you need to do that too tight because that needs to rotate. Okay. Just assemble the clamp, which I think which way does this go? I think what you do is you put the spring on here, and you put the handle on another one of these little wing nuts. And then that screws into the end there. Seem to be left over with a additional wing nut. What that does is allows you to, let's use the 120 grit course. That holds it in under spring pressure. Just rotate that around. There you go. Yeah, so no idea what that's for or what that slot's for. As far as I know, these two plates form the clamp for the knife, so if you're trying to sharpen something like this might be a bit small. I think it's better on larger knives. I think if you try anything a bit small, that you'll struggle to grip it. And everything seems to want to move. If I undo that too much, and the little T-slot comes out from underneath. Let's try that. Oh, it's all falling apart. Let's do this back up. I guess there's a knack to this. Well, let's take this back off for a second if we can. I think if I try to use the wing nut or the winged bolt on there, that would what am I trying to say? That would interfere with space. Now I don't think there's enough room now to get that bolt through the end of the slot. No, so that's too far forward. Ugh. And do you know what? I think you're better off with the actual I think you're better off with the hex bolt there, because that winged nut is getting in the way, the one at the back anyway. See how fiddly this is? That winged nut is getting in the way of the plate that goes on the top. So I think if you use the hex bolt there, you're better off. Because then it doesn't interfere. I can actually slide over the top, look. Yeah, that makes more sense. Let's put that T nut on the bottom. Just rescue that washer from under there. So you do need a washer. If you've got something a little stouter, that might come in handy. So let's put the winged nut on top. Find the bolt hole. Oh, this is so fiddly. Because you're trying to hold the T-nut and the plate on top that keeps trying to fall away. Now that seems like a better setup. Still doesn't really explain why you've got an extra wing bolt there and a slot there. But that definitely fares better for having the hex bolt behind on the lower plate. So you can see what I mean. If you've got a there you go. So if you've got a smaller knife, it's probably a bit too close to the plate, so I'm not entirely sure how that's going to interfere with the stone. And you do clearly need to fix this down. Aside from the fact it's going to want to try and tip, if you don't fix it down, you're going to have to hold it at the same time as trying to use it. So I think it's a question of selecting your angle really, which you don't really get any guidance with on this. Just kind of hold it there, do it up. Let's just hold this for now. So you can see, just got the handle at the back. I think I've just got the I've got the 120 grit stone in. Now actually what will happen over time is these numbers are going to wear off, so what I've done, tipping, is I've actually just used a paint pen on the back to write the number. Let's get a little bit of oil on there. I'm just going to use a bit of WD-40, try and put it everywhere. Tell you what though, it's doing quite a nice job of cleaning up this edge. This isn't half bad, you know. Let's see if we can just flip this. Just have a little fiddle break, because that's clearly going to present some challenges, swapping that over. Side I've not touched yet, so let's contrast this after we've given it a little bit of a stone. Lower this slightly just to give me a slightly better angle. Now that's probably a mistake because I've done a different angle on the other side, but I am no professional knife sharpener by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not even an experienced knife sharpener. That's not looking half bad, you know. I'm still just using the 120 grit. Okay, I think I'm going to flip that over and use the next one, which is the 320 grit. And you can see that the numbers have really started to wear off now, so it's really easy to swap these out, of course. Just like that. Now I've not, as you can see, I've not fixed this down at all actually, and it's actually not that fiddly. So again, just using a bit of WD-40 lubrication. You can just adjust this handle to a convenient position. Kind of found the angle I like now, so just going to keep going with that. Let's flip this over. Give that a bit of a wipe off. Yeah, I think you'll find it's easier with bigger knives, but this is actually not too bad. This knife's not been sharpened properly for years, and I've only ever given it a kind of a rough, quick go on a grindstone, like an electric grindstone, which just seems to temporarily sharpen it but muller it nevertheless. Give you all kinds of funny curves and taking nicks out of it and all sorts. So far I'm liking this. When you get a nice action going, it's actually quite easy. Oops, there you go, that wasn't tight enough. Look. Right, I'm going to swap that out again. So we'll go for the 600. Firstly, we'll just straighten this up. So we need to do 600 on both sides. Give the stone a little bit of oil. Again, I don't know whether oil's best or just water, or there'll be people out there that use sharpening stones that know far more than me about this kind of thing. Okay, I'm just going to do this side first and then I'll flip the knife over. Let me give it 20. over. Okay, I'm just going to change this out to the finest, which is jumped all the way up to 1500, and I think you can just buy these stones, but they look like they would last an awful long time, so let's give it 20 goes on the 1500. Oops. I think that was 20. Can't quite. I've lost count, but I think it was. Right. There we go. Okay, let me just get that out of there. And here's our much nicer looking blade. You can see it's clean. Got a nice straight edge, it's looking sharp. I'm loving the fact that it actually looks really straight. It was undulating before. The actual sort of edges there were really rough. Where I'd just gone at it with a bench grinder, it still wasn't sharp. You'd struggle to cut through plastic wrapping. I'm really impressed with this knife sharpener. Quite easy to use, doesn't take much practice, quite easy to set up. And it's made this knife look rather nice. Yeah, you can tell when something's got a sharp edge to it, can't you, without actually cutting yourself. Very impressed with that. Anyway, I'm not going to do one of those paper cut tests because everyone knows how to cut a piece of paper. You can see on this edge how well you can see that. You've kind of almost got a good edge there. Just on this side. Oh yeah, no, very good edge on that side. That edge probably just needs a little bit more work. I think it just needs another, sort of another 5 or 10 minutes really to give it a very good single edge. And you've got a bit of a, see how the light falls on that. It's just kind of caught the edge, but just needs a bit more work. That side's a bit better. Okay, now mostly I've been using this incorrectly, mostly because I've been following other people's examples on YouTube of how to assemble it because there are no instructions, and of course everyone has this plate and this plate as a clamp for the knife, and you've got to ask yourself, what on earth is the point of using this plate here as a clamp if you've got the base that you can use as a clamp? It doesn't seem to make any sense. And what I've figured out is that this bottom plate here is meant to sit back further and to be used as a backstop for the knife, so that it doesn't move back and it doesn't wiggle. So I'm going to go ahead and just change the setup slightly. So let's loosen this one off. In fact, I think what we'll do is we'll just take it off, because this can be a properly fiddly job. Okay, now we're going to go and loosen this one off, and at least you'll be able to see what I mean. So if we move that back slightly, and then we'll do it back up, and hopefully I've not dropped that T-nut out of its groove. So that's too far back. There you go. So you can see what I mean. What we can do now is get the knife flat against its surface. That's about the right distance. So let's go and tighten that back up. And that means it will go back into the same position every time. It won't get knocked backwards, it won't get twisted like it did when I was giving it a sharpen. And I don't think it matters what angle the blade's at itself, because obviously the actual stone's coming in at an angle, so I think that's irrelevant. The relevance is that it just keeps it from moving. So let's pop this back on. I know this can be the fiddly bit. So let's get the T-nut back underneath, carefully positioned. Concentrate on getting that on first, and then we'll move it into position and get the washer on. Probably could do with a stouter washer. Okay, oops. Not sure if that went in straight, because that seems a bit stiff. This really is the tricky bit, getting this bit in. That time it went on okay. Okay, so what you do now is pull that forward, and obviously if you keep the bar, just loosen it off a little bit so it can move, so you keep that forward, and then if you just position the bar about there, and then tighten it up. So there you go. So now you can see the back of the knife, you know, the blunt end can sit against that plate there and stop it from moving. So it will no longer sort of move backwards, it will no longer twist that way, and then this will come down and clamp on the top of it. And all this bar's doing is just raising the back up, really, just to give that a better sort of a clamping position, because you want that to be sort of angled downwards. You don't want it angled up or straight across, because it wouldn't get enough clamping force on it. So let's put the knife back in, and of course the straight part only goes so far, so you won't see it sat completely against the base plate, let's call it. Slot that back in. Let's just slip down, so let's pop that back up there. There you go, that's how it should be. So yeah, the straight edge is probably only going to about there, and then it's sort of dropping away, so you're seeing a gap there, but it is sat perfectly butting up against that base plate. So that should stop it from moving that way and stop it from rotating, and you did see it rotate when I was using it. So I think that's the correct way of doing it. Still begs the question, what is this slot for? Some other setup, putting the plates down here in some way. I'm not sure how you would use it in that way, or what for. just see the straight edge there butting up just on that very end. I also just need to pull this blade out slightly to give a bit more clearance to this top plate. As it is, I'd probably catch the edge with the stone otherwise. Well, I hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching.